We are live. Just a second, bear with me, guys. I'm alright, trying to figure this out. As per usual, we are having difficulties with the live setup. And trying to get this thing on my tripod here. Anticipating people will be joining soon. Okay, I think that's good. Getting good. Alright. Hi. You can see me pretty well, it looks like. I think so. Alright, cool. So, give me just a minute here to load this up on my own computer. Alright, that's a bad thumbnail, huh? Yeah, well. One watching. Oh, that's me. Anyway, alright. Hi, Black Panther or something or another. Okay, I don't want my thing up there. Okay. Hey, how's everyone doing? Holy shit, we got 5 people already tuned in and checking this out. It's super cool. This is the live Q&A session I first started talking about, like, I don't know how long ago. I think back in like October or something like that, I started saying I was going to do a live Q&A session. Just I asked people to send questions in, and so they could be, I guess it's just a thing that vloggers on YouTube like to do live sessions, and makes me really nervous doing this, so that's why I have all this alcohol behind me. So I'm going to do my best here, and I got 2 thumbs up and 4 people checking it out right now, so it's really good. We're off to a good start. 2 people, so I'm already losing people. This sucks. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just gonna start, you know, reading these questions off. These were all posted to me back in, I believe, October of last year. So it's been a while, and I know I always say this, but I want to try and do more of these live sessions. I think it's a lot of fun, and you know, it's cool. I want to have more guests and do another dark ambient reaction session too. So yeah. Anyway, let me know if I'm talking too quiet or if you can't hear the background music. I'm just playing some music randomly off my computer. So if you can't hear the music, let me know. Or if you can hear the music better than my voice or anything like that, let me know too. Alright? Cool. Alright, we're going to begin. I'm going to give it like a minute, maybe for some more people to join. If anyone has any quick questions to ask before I get to the actual list, feel free. Yeah. Probably a good thing that I should never go on real live TV or anything like that with all this nervousness and jitteriness and all that stuff. I am drinking. For those of you that is the, why is it always gotta be a reverse image? Well, this is the Third Space Brewing. It's a local brewery here in Milwaukee, and it is a Mocha Java porter, and it is absolutely delicious. A rich porter brimming with intense coffee aroma and flavor. Enticing hint of sweet cocoa in the background. It's just as great as you'd expect it to be. Alright, anyway, I'm going to get these questions. So, Kid Traverse asks, what other genres are you a fan of besides metal and dark ambient? Not saying you need anything else, ha 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 ha. I'm a fan. What was that question? It's a bit low. Alright, we'll turn the music up a little. Let me know if you can hear it better. I guess the main thing of interest here is probably me, but, you know. Let me know though if my voice is too quiet or the music's too quiet still. I think we're doing better. Anyway, what other genres are you a fan of besides metal and dark ambient? Not saying anything else, ha ha ha. That's the question for Kid Traverse. I'm a fan of a lot of different music, to be honest with you. I love music. It has been something that's kept me going for many years, kept me happy and motivated, and alright. And I mean, I like a lot of different music. Right now, my CD tower shelf here is in sort of a state of sort of a repair of sorts, because I'm actually filing everything by musical genre. And I'm filing everything by genre, so I have like 200 CDs sitting behind me. It's all going to go on this row over here. So that's why it looks a little blank, but I have Hi, I'm from Canada. Hi, I'm from America. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna try to answer this question now. Um, so I like a lot of different music. I mean, just off the top of my head, I would say, I mean, I love like neo folk music or singer songwriter kind of stuff like that. I like old school like 80s gothic rock. I like dark wave music. I like medieval music. I like crazy, weird, experimental, noisy shit, and just weird stuff. I like old school hip hop from the 80s and early 90s. I love just electronic music, EBM, just whatever you generally kind of consider to be electronic music. I like that kind of stuff. I love like old progressive rock from the 70s and late 60s. I love kraut rock from Germany from the early 70s. Yeah, I love one of my all-time favorite artists is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I've never really known how to classify him, but yeah, it's one of my absolute favorite artists there. All kinds of old hard rock, and I don't know. I like a lot of different music. There's not really a lot of music I don't like. I also really like Japanese Japanese pop and rock music. That stuff's pretty cool. Not as into as I used to be, but I really did like it back in the day. And yeah, I think probably an easier way to answer this question would be to tell you what I don't like. And what I don't like about music is I don't like mainstream music. I hate radio rock. I fucking hate bands like Aerosmith and Five Finger Death Punch and Disturbed and shit like that. I can't stand it. So maybe that's either. I mean, basically, I like everything except for like mainstream music. I've been very passionate about like underground music for over 20 years now. My music tastes have been very refined to love that kind of music. So yeah, I guess basically anything underground and dark and weird and melancholy and crazy, I'm going to be into pretty much. So I hope that answers your question, Kid Traverse. Anyway, we have some more questions here now from Kid Traverse as well. So Kid Traverse asks, are there any movies, books, etc., not necessarily related to the genre, that feels dark ambient to you? Movies, yeah. I mean, a lot of movies. I think, without even realizing it, I mean, a lot of movies do have dark ambient soundtracks. Sort of drawing a blank right now, but kind of soundtrack to it, or I don't know. Most horror movies have dark ambient soundtracks. And that's the thing about dark ambient music is like it's always been there, but people just don't kind of realize it's always been there. It's been a part of their life, so they don't realize it. And I remember when I was still a little kid, watching horror movies and stuff like that, and being like, I like this music, but I just didn't. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know there was a special. Oops, I should have done that. I didn't know there was this whole genre, and it wasn't until the late '90s that when I discovered Mortis and discovered this genre called dark ambient that I really started getting into everything, and it just went from there. So yeah. As for books, yeah, I mean a lot of books could fit the. Which most dark music did you ever hear? I don't know what that means exactly. Well, I'll have to think about that. So anyway, about books, I was thinking like, I actually kind of looked at this question before I started this Q&A, because this one was kind of throwing me a little bit of a curveball. A book I think that would really fit kind of a dark ambient soundtrack is Richard Matheson's I Am Legend or Hell House. Those are old school horror novels that were wrote in I think the late 50s or something like that. And I know you've probably seen, there's been 5 or 6 different versions of I Am Legend made by Hollywood, and there's the old Hell House movie that was made in late 70s, which is decent but pretty corny. But the books themselves are really fantastic, and I've read those books multiple times while listening to dark ambient music. So I think it would be really easy to score a dark ambient soundtrack to those books. And something I've sort of thought about doing myself is releasing a soundtrack to the book, and not the movie, or just releasing just doing a soundtrack to a book, because I'm not really sure if it's something that's really been done before in dark ambient genre. So yeah, it's something I'm considering. That looks like that's in a language I don't understand. I can't answer that question, but Props. Peace. Alright. Alright, one more question from Kid Traverse. 1964 I Am Legend with Vincent Price. Right, that's one of the movies, yes. Correct. And, yeah, I don't know if I've seen that. I feel like I did. I know there's one from like the 70s I saw it, but, I wasn't really impressed with any of the I Am Legend movies, especially that shitty one with Will Smith from about 15 years ago. That one was just, not good. Anyway, moving on. Given that this is another question from Kit Traverse, the last one. Given that dark ambient is pretty free and amorphous, what constitutes bad dark ambient music to you? It's a tough question to answer, but I think bad dark ambient to me. Do you hear Nova Orion? No, I have no idea what that is. What is Nova Orion? Alright, so anyway, given that dark ambient is, basically bad dark ambient music to me would be dark ambient music that doesn't have an atmosphere. If it doesn't actually feel dark or doesn't, kind of transport your mind and your body, your soul to some sort of like special place or dark place or whatever, the artist is trying to kind of, take you. If it doesn't do that, then that to me is bad dark ambient music. And over the years, I've been exposed to a lot of different dark ambient. Back when I was doing my zine, I spent a lot of dark ambient albums for review, and some of them were just super boring, just those, I don't know, like the ones that just sound like just really cavernous and just don't really go anywhere, and just super long songs. Those are the ones I tend to find. That's, the ones that kind of a little weird today. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I hope I answered that question, Kit Traverse. If not, I apologize. Anyway, we're going to move on to another one. This question's come from Michael Barnett, the man behind the This Is Darkness webzine, which perhaps some of you have seen. Hope some of you have. It's a cool zine. Michael asks, would be interested to know if you have any listening equipment you recommend. Speakers, headsets, turntables, needles, etc. Nothing in particular really that I would recommend. I bought a new record player about 3 years ago. It's one of those Audio Technica ones that are kind of popular at I see them a lot. And as for speakers, I mean, I've got an old school stereo here that's like from the mid-90s. It's still working and the speakers work great. So yeah, same thing with turntable needles. I have no recommendations. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not really like a tech nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff. I just kind of, buy stuff, and once it sounds good, I kind of go with it. And yeah, hope that helps answer that question. Also, another question Michael asks is, also would be interested to know what your preferred daily listening software format is. Do you use Spotify? If so, playlists or specific artists? Do you prefer physical copies for listening? If digital purchase, FLAC or MP3? My daily listening habits consists of Bluetooth speakers via Spotify, oftentimes in my kitchen when I'm either making breakfast or washing dishes or just doing some stuff outside of this room, because this is my man cave here where I have my computer, my record player, my CD player, all that kind of stuff. So, and we have I think three Bluetooth speakers downstairs. We have one in the kitchen. My fiance has one that she uses, and then we have one in the bathroom. Actually, it's a bathroom fan / Bluetooth speaker where like music will come out of the fan while you're using the shower. It's pretty cool. So basically, every time I take a shower, I'm listening to music. So it's pretty cool. Other than that, it's just records, CDs, tapes. Like when an album's really, really good and it's only available digitally. So I'm sort of snobbing that I just want to keep buying physical stuff. So sometimes when an artist, even if they release a decent or even really good album, I still am somewhat inclined not to buy digital stuff. I just love physical stuff. And like I said before, this is, you can see my CD tower behind me, but it's going through some renovations right now. So like at least half of it's not up there. So yeah. All right. And Michael asks one more question. Incense, essential oil, or a crisp breeze? Too fresh in the house, I'm assuming. I meant to put it up for this thing, but I forgot to, so I'm gonna do that right now. We need more atmosphere in this vlog here. And I like incense. I've always liked incense. I think it you know, smells good and everything, and looks cool and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is a wood burner, or I'm sorry, this is an incense I found at this magic shop here in town. It's pretty cool. It's like this green man guy, and I love burning incense in this thing. If you put batteries in it, his eyes light up red. It's pretty cool. I like it. Where can I put this? Let's put it right there. Cool. Smell the incense. Other than that, to freshen things up, I have a wax burner. They're called Sensies. It's something my fiance found a couple of years ago, and basically you have these little like things to hold them in, and you burn wax and it smells good. What's that song in the background? Oh, it's Excellion, I believe. Let's double check that. Yes. Excellion. Ekthelion. It's a dungeon synth project from, I believe, Greece. If you can't find it later on, message me and I will link it to you. It's I believe the album is called what is it called? Here, I'll tell you real quick. Age of the Faceless Demon. Yeah, it's a really good album. It came out a couple of years ago, and I think it was released via cassette, and I never got it. I think it's sold out before I got a chance to get my hands on, which is really unfortunate. But it's a really cool dark synth, dungeon synth kind of thing, and yeah. Yes, I will link you later. Just message me later and I'll link it to you, and you can check it out. But yeah, it's cool dungeon synth stuff, really strong medieval fantasy. It kind of reminds me of Old Mortis and old video game soundtracks, so I really like it a lot. It's really cool, really good album. Anyway, yeah. I think I've answered Michael's questions, so I'm moving on. And I'm doing pretty good. We're almost at 20 minutes here. I'm going to try and keep this around an hour, but we'll see. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, like, kind of, you know, once I get through all this, feel free to post some, and I will definitely answer them. So anyway, alright, we're moving on. Mark White asks, there's a lot of film and TV soundtracks that fall under the category of dark ambient. For example, both Lustmore and Graham Revel of SBK have done soundtrack work. Do you have a favorite? Currently playing at mine is a score from the recent HBO Sky TV series, Chernobyl. If you haven't heard this yet, check it out. It's definitely one for fans of the more industrial end of dark ambient. Yes, me and my fiance did watch one a few months ago and we enjoyed it immensely. Like recent soundtrack that, you know, kind of falls in that industrial ambient kind of genre I enjoyed a lot was the new Blade Runner movie. That had a really good soundtrack, and I've been kind of, you know, meaning to. The movie itself was really good too. So yeah, absolutely. As for like soundtracks in general, I don't know. I don't really buy a whole lot of like movie soundtracks and stuff like that years, so. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a favorite. I think my all-time, like, oh, maybe I do. I mean, I'm a big fan of like I love like all the Italian horror films and stuff like, you know, Goblin. I wish I had mentioned was in reverse. It's very frustrating, but whatever. But stuff like that, and I don't know why I'm not seeing it now, but oh, like Conan the Barbarian. I love that soundtrack. Stuff like that, you know. Yeah. So I do like soundtracks, and I just don't seem to ever get my hands on that much. I gotta check this. What is that one? Let's check that out, Tally. Hey, alright, anyway, we're moving on. I had to turn the audio off on my videos when I answer questions from there, because otherwise you would hear this is delayed by like 3 or 4 seconds or something like that. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Crumbly asks, I'm curious how your environment affects your creativity. I'm curious how your environment affects you creatively. Do you draw inspiration from the natural or urban spaces around you? Yeah, I definitely draw inspiration from the natural world a lot, especially for House of the Maker project, my more drone and nature-based dark ambient project, which maybe some of you heard. For that one, as you may know, I make a lot of field recordings of just the natural world. Internet today. It seems like this happens every single time I do one of these live sessions. Kind of unfortunate and very frustrating. I wish I could just get a nice clear picture and everything would look really good, but no such luck, I guess. Maybe I just have shitty internet. I don't know. Well, anyway, yeah. So as I said, the natural world is a huge inspiration for House of the Maker, and I think like urban decay and stuff like that kind of influences Noctilucant too, because you know, Noctilucant has been heavily themed around post-apocalyptic themes and all that, and yeah, you know, humans were going to you know, eventually destroy this world. We're gonna, you know, tear down all the forests, all the natural world, and we're gonna build condos and fucking IKEA stores and grocery stores and condos and more apartments, and it really makes me sad because here in my hometown, I mean, I've lived in this more or less the same city my whole life, and I've just seen how much deforestation has gone on over the years, and it makes me sad that, you know, we keep killing forests in favor of, you know, business parks and shit like that. It's not right, and I think, you know, seeing that deforestation and killing the natural world has influenced me quite a bit. And Noctilucant, if yes, what do you think about it? Love your vids, by the way. I have not listened to your album on Noctilucant just yet. I'm aware of your project. I feel like I heard one of the older albums. I don't remember what record label you were on previously, but I haven't heard it, so I can't really answer that question too well, unfortunately. But if you link it to me or you want to send me the album for review, I could definitely do that. So yeah, feel free to. All right. So this is another question from Crumbly. Crumbly asks, also, only if you're comfortable sharing, do you ever feel isolated? Not really. Boy, this is a really bad connection here. This is unfortunate. Yeah. Well, I hope this gets better. I hope you can at least hear me well or something like that. I don't know. I really got to figure this out before I do another one. This is really getting frustrating. So, do you ever feel isolated? No, not really, because I kind of like being isolated. I don't really like being around people. So, yeah, I don't know. It's good being isolated. I'm a loner by nature, so it's totally okay with me to be alone and be isolated. And I mean, obviously, I love spending time with my wife and everything, our future wife, and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm a loner. I don't mind being alone. So yeah, I like being isolated. It's cool. It's all good. I mean, I live in a big city. Otherwise, I mean, Milwaukee's a huge city. Lots of people here, so it's not hard to find people if I'm feeling lonely. I think that. So. I don't know. I like being alone. When I moved out of my parents' house when I was, I don't know, 24 years old, I lived alone for 10 years before I met my fiance, so that says it all right there, I guess, you know. So, yeah, I'm a loner. I like being alone. It's cool. I'm still that way even though I have a fiance. I'm usually hiding up here by myself most of the time. I don't know. Does that make me weird? I don't know. Well, anyway. Hey, look, the video quality's good finally. Crumbly finally asks, what do you do when you're really bummed out? That's a good question, because I've had issues with depression since I was quite young, and I think it was always there. I just didn't really realize it was there until my late teens. I think it was when I, you know, started to, you know, I started to really kind of contemplate my own existence a lot more, and life and the future and all that kind of stuff. Not until my late teens, but I think I was always depressed. I just didn't really realize it. Hi everyone, black metal, dark ambient tapes. Hi everybody. Hey, dark ambient tapes, black metal tapes. There's a question. That's good. I don't hate them. I just feel better when they're not around. Bukowski. I agree. Good. That is a good quote. I'm gonna use that. So what do I do when I'm feeling really bummed out? Well, when I'm getting really bummed out, exercise, I get a lot of motivation from going to the gym and lifting weights or running to get me really charged up and stuff like that. But it definitely helps, you know. And I mean, the physical fitness has always been a cool thing, and it's helped me a lot throughout the years. Guess you're taking cues from the chat too. I'd like to know in short what your accompaniment of measures are like, if you have any in particular. I will get to that question in just a second. So what else do I do when I'm feeling really bummed out? Well, I tend to write music when I'm feeling bummed out because creating music, or really creating anything for that matter, has always been very therapeutic for me. And yeah, it could be a song, it could be you know, like doing carpentry and like doing woodwork, you know, and stuff like that. It could be anything, painting, drawing, you know, anything. Creating is a very powerful thing. It's a very strong emotion you get when you finish something, and it's definitely something I've often done when I'm feeling depressed. But then again, at the same time, when you are depressed, it's sort of hard to get yourself, you know, in the right mindset too, because you're just kind of, you know, bumming on the negative and not thinking about, you know, that things are probably going to be okay. And that's something I get hung up on a lot myself, is that, you know, things aren't as bad as I think they are. It's just my brain tricks me into thinking that things are bad and things aren't going to work out. But really, all things considered, you know, things are pretty good. You know, I own a house, I have a job, I have a car, I have a beautiful fiance I'm going to marry in a few months. So, you know, things ain't that bad. But sometimes my mind just likes to play tricks on me, just like, you know. So that's what I do when I'm really bummed out. I don't know. What kind of music program do you use? Do you mean to create music, or to play music, or what you saying there, bud? If you guys are drinking by chance, let me know what you're drinking too. Yes, what music do I use to create? Well, my you know, I use a synthesizer to create like almost all of my music. I mean, there's other like weird acoustic instruments I use too, but it's primarily a synthesizer, and I record that into a program called Audacity, which is a free audio editing program, which I highly recommend. I mean, I know a lot of people, a lot of dark ambient artists, you know, they use you know, these more expensive programs like Fruity Loop Studio and stuff like that. And I mean, I've looked into those programs, and they're like anywhere from $200 to $300, and I'm sure they can do really cool things. But so far, after almost 5 years of doing this, you know, dark ambient music, I've used Audacity the whole time, and I find it's a very easy program to use. And yeah, and I realize some of these programs too, like you can use the program itself just to create the music, but all the music that you've ever heard from me is always starts with a synthesizer, and then I edit it from there, you know. Angry Orchard Cider, that's pretty good stuff. And yeah, so, and I mean, basically once I recorded into once I recorded into Audacity, then that's a lot of post-production is done. I mean, I will oftentimes slow down or speed up a synth passage, or I'll add a lot of reverb or echo and stuff like that. I mean, basically, you know, like what you hear out of my songs is never the way it sounds in the beginning, and I always strive to you know, just layer so much stuff, you know, and it creates that wall of sound effect, which I think is really makes for a really effective dark ambient music, because it sort of you know, I don't want to, like, it really can, like, you know, possess your mind and really just, you know, take you to these interesting places. And yeah, I mean, that's how I like to do my dark ambient, layers and layers and layers of synth, and then acoustic instruments and field recordings and voice, or, you know, vocals if it, you know, if it fits the mood, you know, stuff like that. So yeah. So Endmeyer asks, oh yeah, I saw your question earlier. Yeah, so I think I pretty much answered it. Yeah, I mean, it's all synthesizer mostly. I have a Roland Juno DI synthesizer, and I may have told this story before, but about 6-7 years ago, a friend of mine, he was moving to Greenland, Yes, Greenland. He was an electrician. And he got some sort of job contract to go work out there for 2 years, and he bequeathed almost 90% of his possessions, and he sold me a synthesizer for like, I think $250, and it's like a $800 synthesizer. So as soon as he asked me, I jumped on it, and as they say, the rest is history. Yes. So, and I'm really happy I have this synthesizer. I've been meaning to buy something else just to experiment further, but so far this one's working pretty well. So I mean, I can't complain too much. It's a really great synthesizer. There's lots of shit you can do with it. So yeah, why not? All right. Well, that's. I got a few more questions. One more person asked these, and these questions actually were originally asked to me about a year ago when I was on a podcast, but we didn't get a chance to ask these ones. So these questions come from Infinex Huma, a dark ambient artist from Northern California. So Lucas, if you are tuning in or will tune in later, you'll get the answers to these. All right. I heard Mortis in the late 90s, and I knew Mortis because he was the original bass player in the black metal band Emperor. And I was a huge fan of Emperor, and to an extent I still am, most of the older stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was after I got into Emperor, it was very interesting to me to kind of follow game soundtracks, which I absolutely love, and yeah, I just kind of went from there. I love, well, I mean, it was always, I think it's Terror Bond, and I don't know what his other side project. It's all really good stuff, but yeah, it's all the old stuff, and I'm actually really eagerly anticipating his new record, which I pre-ordered like 2 months ago, and I think it'll be arriving, I don't know, later this month or something. So I'll do a review of that when it gets there. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully. So that's, I mean, it was Mortis that got me into DA, because Mortis back in those days, I don't think the term dungeon synth existed back then. He was classified as a dark ambient artist back then, and he was on Cold Made Industry back in those days too, and obviously Cold Made Industry has released a lot of dark ambient music back then and over the years. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers the question. And I mean, from Mortis it went to, like, I think I checked out like Lustmore, and Atrium Carcerate popped up right around that later time, and I don't know, I'm trying to think of like what other dark ambient artists I was listening to in the late 90s. I don't know. I can't think of any right now. Oh, Rosin de Etra, stuff like that. It was all around the time, and other random stuff, and obviously like a lot of black metal bands have had like dark ambient related projects over the years, like Fenris from Dark Throne. He had the Neptune Towers project. Really isn't dark ambient at all, but it's often been miscategorized as dark ambient for some reason. It's really more like Tangerine Dream, Klaus Schulze, krautrock kind of stuff, but yeah, still it often gets miscategorized as dark ambient, but that was when I was listening to it back then too. So yeah, I think there's some questions. Let me check these out. Reverbs are crucial for dark ambient. I agree. You can make an electronic dark sound, so you know what I mean. I do. Same here, but first I was listening to Smell of Rain. Smell of the Rain. Yeah, I mean, Smell of the Rain is probably the last good album he made. Decent album. It's darkwave. It ain't dark ambient. I mean, it's not as good as any of those other albums he made in the '90s, but it's decent, and it went very downhill after that. So yeah, and I mean, it's cool that he's making dark ambient again. I'm glad that he's at peace with his past, because for many years he was just totally shunning his old stuff and talking shit about it, and now he's re-embracing it, and he's back on the path of making dark ambient, and I hope he continues doing dark ambient, because that's way better than his dark wave industrial stuff. And yeah, he's actually playing nearby me in Chicago, and I think next weekend, and I probably should go, but I don't really have money right now, and it's kind of unfortunate. And I mean, I used to go to shows in Chicago all the time, but it's just it's always an expensive affair, and I know if he's gonna have a ton of merch and I'm to buy a lot of it, and I just really shouldn't. And it's just, again, kind of the shitty thing about being an adult. You have to know when to draw the line and not go crazy like I did back 15 years ago or whatever, even 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, I guess. I mean, it's just yeah, being an adult sucks. Owning a house sucks. I don't actually recommend it. It's cool, but whatever. Okay, question. Are you excited for the new Lustmore album, which is coming out this year? I didn't even know Lustmore had a new album coming out, actually, but that is cool. I will look into that. I'm not a huge fan of Lustmore necessarily. I like his stuff. I think it's really great for just zoning out and you know, just escaping for a while. But I think that's the disappointing thing about his music is that he hasn't made a whole lot. For a guy that's been doing this stuff and who's a pioneer of this genre, he hasn't really made like diverse enough like dark ambient in my opinion, or maybe I just haven't heard his more diverse works. I don't know. It always seems like he always kind of went for that really deep, suffocating, droning, cavernous kind of dark ambient, which is great, which is cool, but yeah, I don't know. I wish he would have explored a little more. It'd be cool to see him do a cinematic dark ambient album, for example, you know? Hey. Paradise is Stolen was a masterpiece back in the day. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love all the old stuff. It's, but yeah, I mean, if you're gonna compare Lustmore to like Rosin de Etra, I'm gonna take Rosin de Etra 100% because there's just so much more character to Peter Anderson's music, and yeah, I mean, I think you know, music in general is all about dynamics and just, you know, substance and what's in it, and when it's so bare bones, like the way Lustmore music has more or less been for the past 30 years, it can be kind of boring after. I don't know. Anyway. That is too a good dark wave. This is what in the background, so I like this. Cool. Yeah, it's Irezumi Plane in the background if you are in fact enjoying that. That is a project from France. It's had a few albums out over the past decade or so. That's a cool project. Well worth checking out. Alright, where are we? So, Infinix Huma also asks, what is your favorite non-DA music? I already answered that question earlier, so go back to the beginning of this live stream if you want the answer to that. Was your past dark? If so, did it contribute to your music? I don't know necessarily how to define the, you know, the word dark can be defined in any way imaginable, I guess, and yeah, I mean, there was negativity in my childhood, you know, parents that argued all the time and fought and all that kind of shit, so, you know, it all has a negative effect when you're growing up, but yeah, as long as I can remember, I've always been attracted to dark subject matter. I mean, I grew up loving horror movies, and I just loved escaping from the real. I loved all, like, the medieval and high fantasy movies when I was a kid and stuff like that, you know, Conan the Barbarian, all those cool movies, you know, Indiana Jones, all that cool shit from like the 80s, you know, Star Wars, sci-fi stuff, you know. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, is my past dark? Yeah, I mean, I felt suicidal when I was younger and stuff like that, and like I said, I've gotten really depressed, and I still all the time get in these funks that last like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm just completely miserable, but eventually I pull myself out of it, and I don't sink to a place where I want to just take my life or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So there's always answers, there's always ways to get out of the gloom, and sometimes you even have to use the gloom to motivate yourself, because that gloomy feeling can be highly motivational for like creating music and art and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think someone asked a question. Let's see. I can relate to that. Yes, you can put the links in the description. That would be nice. Okay, I will do that for you, Black Panther. I will find that Ecthalion Dungeons project for you before we stop this live stream. All right. Yeah. Which Aram17170 asks, which crowd tribute project is your most favorite? Just one. So far to date, I would probably have to easily say Sabled Sun. It was the project that inspired me to create cinematic dark ambient music, and I love everything. I mean, I love every album he's released under the Sabled Sun name. I love almost all the Atrium Carcerate albums too. I haven't actually heard all the Atrium Carcerate albums, nor do I own them all, but I'm still working on doing that. So it's, you know, on my bucket list of things to do. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. As soon as I heard Sabled Sun, it just it really resonated with me well. It just really spoke to me. Man, I love the field recordings, just the atmosphere. It was literally just like listening to a sci-fi movie, a futuristic post-apocalyptic movie. It really spoke to me in a special way. And yeah, it was totally inspiring for me to start a project, man. I've probably said this before, but I had been contemplating doing a dark ambient project since like the early 2000s, and it just, you know, I kept putting it off, mostly because I didn't understand the technical aspects of like how to record the music and all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, like I was saying earlier, when my friend, you know, sold the synthesizer to me, and then just, you know, modern computers being so more advanced than they were, you know, say 15 years ago, it made a lot more sense, and I was able to do it, and here we are nowadays. And yeah, it's going pretty good. So yeah. All right. Do you have anything collectible in the music industry? Do you have anything collectible in the music industry? White elephant, I don't know what, clarify that for me, and I will try and answer that for you. I know what you mean. Are my albums collectible? No, probably not. You can go. They're all readily available, so no. Do I have rare albums and CDs? If that's what you're asking, yeah, sure. Like, I've got a lot of rare stuff from, you know, bands and stuff like that, all kinds of different genres of music. If that's what you're asking, then yeah. I mean, nothing that's like super rare that someone's like knocking down my door to get their hands on or anything. But yeah, I got some rare stuff. I mean, I've been, you know, like I said, I've been into the underground music since the late 90s, and I've been collecting stuff for a long time, so yeah, got lots of cool stuff. And one of these days I'm gonna do like a CD, vinyl, and tape kind of video where I show everything off, and you guys can check it out, and you can see everything I own. I mean, you'll see just how you know, diverse my music, you know, listening habits are and all that kind of stuff. And I think you guys will get a kick out of it. So yeah. So we're 10 people strong on this live stream. We're doing pretty good. I like that. I'm glad you guys will join me here today, because posted a message a few hours ago and no one really responded, so I got a little worried that no one would be tuning in today. But thank you guys for coming around, and thank you as always for supporting dark ambient music and supporting this channel and checking out all this content I put on here. So it means a lot. You know, I can never really express it in the right words, but you know what I mean. I'm very thankful and very grateful that you guys are around. So, question. So who's the founder of dark ambient in your opinion? A lot of people say it was Lustmore, but I'm saying it was Brian Eno. You know, I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name. Yeah, I mean, that's a you know, a popular debate. I've heard that Brian Eno album, the Music for Airports or whatever, and I think that's one that's like often considered to be the first dark ambient record. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's an okay record, and even Lustmore is, like I said before, Lustmore is hit or miss. It's good, but it's so chill at times that it can be forgettable in the long run, I guess. And I don't know. I kind of oftentimes looked to a lot of the earlier, you know, the artists, early '90s cold media industry bands as being more of the, you know, the founders of dark ambient. I mean, Rosin de Etra is, what I always heard is that Roger Carmanick from Cold Media Industry was the one who coined the term dark ambient, and he used that to describe the music of Rosin de Etra, and that was in like 1992 when the first Rosin de Etra cassette tape came out on Cold Media Industry or something like that. So, I mean, I would probably, you know, but then again, if you listen to the early Rosin de Etra, it's not even like close to what we consider to be dark ambient now. It's so much more musical and even kind of neoclassical, and there's all the choirs and shit like that he sampled. So I don't know. It's hard to say, and I don't know. I'm just kind of looking up at where all my dark ambient records are, and yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say where it all came from and who the real creator is, but I guess, you know, most people say Lustmore, but whatever. Is Cold Media Industry still active? No. Cold Media Industry ended back in, I think it was 2013 or 2014, because Roger, the label boss, he had a lot of issues with like alcoholism and I think a lot of depression issues too, and he just couldn't keep up with like all the pressures of running a record label, especially one that had become quite popular at that point since he'd been doing it for like 20, 25 years at that point. So that's kind of yeah, you know what happened. I guess that's the story what I always heard. And a couple of years ago, he started posting on Facebook about how the label is back and how he's going to start releasing stuff, and then nothing's happened. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Cold Main Industry is dead, which is unfortunate because there was so much good music on that label, and I mean it was so diverse. You know, it wasn't just dark ambient. There was like industrial music, there was folk music, there was noise music, there was you know, inexplainable, just experimental shit that's, you know, I haven't, you know, it's, you know, or like a band like It's Slaughter Natives was on that record label, which is one of the fucking most awesomest music projects ever. And yeah, man, you know, it's a great label, and it's a shame that, you know, it came to an end. Questions? Good streaming, you're good to work. Greetings. Like is here in sub habit too for a long time. Thanks, never knew those facts. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna move on with more questions. Oh, my incense burned out, that's unfortunate. Oh well. So, more questions from Infinix Huma here. What does music do for you? Well, creating music, as I've said before, is very therapeutic. It's you know, it's like I said, it's very empowering and very exciting to create music, especially when, you know, you finally finish an album and you know, you put all this work into creating the music. But you know, for me personally, I often like to take it to that you know, physical level too. So creating the physical packaging is very important too. And just to use as an example, I'm nearly done with the new House of the Maker album. It's the audio side of it's completely finished. It's been mastered too, once again by my friend Alessio Antoni, and I'm really looking forward to releasing it. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it, and yeah, and right now it's going to be released in a digipack. I'm having stuff printed right now, so hoping in like 2 to 3 weeks I can release it, and you guys will enjoy it, and everyone will buy it, and yeah, you know, I'm really proud of this album. It's an album I worked on for just about a year to create it, and if you like the first House of the Maker album, I think you'll like this album. It's a little more musical than the first, not as drony, but it still makes heavy use of the field recordings and stuff like that. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, music is very therapeutic, very exciting, you know, to create stuff, and you know, and other people's music too has been very therapeutic for me, just to you know, get me through tough times. You know, if I'm angry, I got plenty of angry music. I'm a huge black metal fan. You know, that stuff always works well. Or death metal, or thrash metal, metal in general is really good. You know, get those raw, angry emotions out. And I usually like to take those emotions out at the gym. Otherwise, you know, if I take them home with me, you know, I might accidentally get in a fight with my fiance or something like that, and that's no good. You know, no one wants to do that. But you know, we all have our moments of weakness where we accidentally do that, and so on and so forth. So I try to get my negative feelings out at the gym, or just take them on some, you know, positive way. So yeah. What's your latest favorite dark ambient album? I don't recall the last dark ambient album I purchased, but my friend Mambe Yulman recently sent to me, or well, I'm sorry, we did a trade. I sent him a bunch of my albums, and he sent me all of his albums, and I've enjoyed his stuff quite a bit. So Mambe Yulman and his various albums have definitely been something I've enjoyed quite a bit. And I did a collection update video where I showed these, but you know, we'll check them out again real quick. Yeah, you know, he's all self-released, and he does a really cool, you know, unique packaging in these digipacks and everything like that. And you get a chance, I highly recommend checking out Mambe Yulman. It's great cinematic dark ambient music, and he's definitely a very creative and talented young individual, and yeah, it's great stuff. Oh my goodness. In case anyone's wondering, all this stuff right here is all my dark ambient music, so quite a lot. And actually, there's more too on the CD shelf behind me too, but that's, you know, 30, 40, you know, it's probably like 100 CDs at least. It's all dark ambient music, so a lot of stuff. Yeah, I love dark ambient music, and you know, I've said before, I've been a collector for many years, and still lots of stuff I would need to buy. I wish it was more readily available and not overpriced, but you know, it is what it is. Shit goes out of print. Endmeyer asks, know any up and coming D8 labels? I'm always interested in new stuff. No, I don't really keep up to date with the labels myself because I've kind of gotten to this point in my music career where I just kind of want to release it myself and do all of it myself, because I feel like if you're not, I mean, because I know how to promote well, I can do artwork fairly well, I can bring you know, stuff to a physical medium fairly well, and labels are cool because, you know, you'll get that physical product, but the thing I found at working with a lot of smaller labels is that they don't help you much in the promotion side. So basically, like, if you're not on like a huge label like Crowd Chamber, for example, it's kind of pointless because you're not really going to get that promotion. And I mean, I can't say it's true of every label, but it's just something I've noticed with the smaller labels that I've worked with. And I mean, I'm eternally grateful if these labels, you know, released a CD. That's fucking awesome. But I feel like when all is said and done, I promoted the product more than they did, and that's kind of frustrating because really the label should do their part, and I don't think they are necessarily. And I'm not trying to like slander or talk shit about any of the labels. Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, Myra. I don't really keep up with these kind of things. You know, the best I can tell you is just, you know, keep promoting, you know, keep figuring out how to, you know, self-promote and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, there's all kinds of videos out there you can watch. I mean, you know, you can take any sort of like, I mean, I'm sure you probably, for those of you who are on Facebook, you've probably seen those videos that pop up. It's, you know, that give you like kind of teachings on how to promote your music, and all that stuff is very available, and it can be applied to really any genre of music. You just kind of gotta find your niche and figure it out, you know, and then you can kind of go from there. Like me personally, I use Facebook as a good way to promote my music, and you know, this YouTube channel has been very, you know, beneficial, you know, getting my music out there, and you know, even all these other sites like Twitter and I don't know, I don't think Google Plus exists anymore, but and SoundCloud and all that kind of stuff, you know. Make profiles, get your music out there as much as possible. Like, cause I mean, if you're not on like Cryo Chamber or any of these bigger labels, like I don't think you're gonna get much in terms of promotion. You're not gonna get your music out there as well. And you know, I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but I kind of to a point got this figured out. But that's why I want to just keep self-release and stuff. And I mean, if Cryo Chamber or someone like wanted to release my music, that'd be fucking awesome. I wouldn't turn it down, but I don't know. I don't know. I like doing it myself too. It's just very satisfying being like my own record label without even actually being a record label, so to speak, I guess. Yeah, YouTube is a great way to promote your stuff. I would highly recommend if you are a dark ambient artist, start a dark ambient channel. Why not? That's what I did. When I first started this channel, my main intention was to just upload my music, and after like a month of just uploading my music, I was like, well, you know, I started digging around, and I was like, well, there's a lot of great albums and a lot of great songs, and that's not on YouTube yet, and I thought, like, well, I'm gonna start uploading these full-length albums, and I don't know what I did exactly, I can't tell you the exact secret, but somehow this channel has gotten a lot of attention, and here we are 5 years later, and there's over 3,000 subscribers, so it's pretty awesome, you know, so, yeah. Question. Black, do you have any albums of Norton Barger, and do you listen to any? I do. Oh, God, where is it? I have some of this stuff digital, but it's the only one I have physical. This is the Norton Barger and Drac, the Betrayal of Light album. This was released by, I don't know who this was released by. Tumult Music? I don't know what the hell that is. But I found this album used a few years ago at a secondhand shop. It was with use black metal stuff, it's not black metal. It's like industrial dark ambient. Pretty good record. I haven't actually listened to this in a really long time. I should give that a listen. So I'll do that this week. And yeah, but yeah, Norton Barger, he's a, you know, that guy's huge. I mean, that guy's been making music for like 25, 30 years. You know, he's another legend in the dark ambient industrial scene. He's got dark ambient records, industrial records, noise records, you know, indescribable experimental stuff. That guy is hugely prolific too. I mean, if you get a chance, definitely look his stuff up on Bandcamp. Yeah, looks like you got that album. So yeah, it's good stuff. I'm gonna give it a listen again this week. Check it out again. It's been a really long time since I listened to it. So here's the last question from Infinex Huma. How do you feel about lyrics in Death Industrial involving child molesting, sexual terror, racism, malicious occultism, Nazism, etc.? Is it too far? Does it represent a certain mentality? Does it give a bad name to innovative progressive DA? Well, I don't really follow the Death Industrial or noise scene too closely, but I am familiar with like some of those more extreme concepts they have in the music, and I know all that stuff is done just for the sake of being extreme. You know, there's that one project from Finland, Nicole 12, that's heavily centered around like just taking like being as extreme as possible, and I don't think anyone should you know, take it too literally. I don't think that's anything he's into really. I mean, maybe maybe it's, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I think an artist should have the freedom to have themes and lyrics about whatever they want, because it's their music and they can do whatever they want. And there's going to be criticism, you know. There's no question about that. But I'm not easily offended, I guess. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, I've listened to some pretty fucked up music, and it has all kinds of, you know, that has like nationalistic themes, but you know, for me, I don't even pay attention to lyrics. It's about the music. I mean, one of my all-time favorite bands, Nocturnal Mortem, it's like, well, it's pretty extreme there, dudes, but you know, you do you and all that kind of shit, you know. I mean, I didn't go out and buy Mein Kampf after listening to that album or anything. I didn't start Strong Minds by you know, the music you listen to. And that's a problem too a lot of times, is like, you know, I think people are really heavily influenced by the music they listen to, you know. Like, I don't know, I've seen a lot of normal people, you know, change into different people. Like, I always think back to the late 90s, and this is not really the dark ambient and all, but I remember like when Eminem rap scene, I remember just seeing normal kids in my high school suddenly turned into these thugs overnight, and it was so ridiculous because these were totally normal kids that weren't getting in trouble, and then a few months ago, listening to Eminem, they were breaking into cars and they were in jail and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm not gonna say like Eminem, you know, has those themes in his music. I don't think he does at all. But you know, it's a case of being influenced by music too far. And it's the same thing as like listening to like really occult black metal. I mean, you don't have to get into the occult or become a Satanist just because you listen to occult black metal. Same thing I was saying before about Nocturnal Morning. You don't have to become a Nazi just because they've had those themes in their music, you know. So. Yeah. A lot of questions. Please provide me with some. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to stop this stream. I don't know. I'm ill prepared. I'm gonna drink another beer though while you guys think of something. I am drinking a cranberry ginger shandy now from Leinenkugel's. What are you guys drinking? How long have we been doing this? For a little over an hour? Okay, we're doing good. You guys are still sticking on. There's 10 watching now. That's cool. Feel free to ask, because like I said, I ran out. Okay, there we go. What are your thoughts on Ethanor's Dark Ambient catalog? Do you follow underground death metal scene at all? That looked tasty. I gotta be honest with you, I am not familiar with the catalog. I know I've heard that label's name before, but god darn it, I don't think I actually have any releases from that label, so please link me and I'll check it out and I'll get back to you on that question. Okay. Do you follow underground death metal scene at all? To a point. I'm more of an old school death metal fan. I love all the old school death metal from the late 80s and early 90s, and then around like 94, 95 is kind of the cutoff. I mean, I wish, where are they on here? I do have some death metal records, and is that some? No, that's my pagan metal. Well, I don't know where my only death. I mean, I love a lot of old school death metal stuff. You know, like let's see here. We got stuff from like, you know, we got stuff from like Edge of Sanity and Incantation and Hypocrisy. I love a lot of old shit, man. That's brutal, but I don't know. Death metal is one of those genres where it just kind of got to the point where like it wasn't even really like it got. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I really hate grindcore, and I hate it when like just death metal bands had to be as extreme as possible, where they started like using like drum machines and this, they had like most extreme lyrics like about like this, you know, killing, dismemberment, and just they took the horror factor too far, and so it just became stupid. It was more about like the album covers having like, you know, questionable shit and stuff like that, and I don't know. So for me, death metal, it's all about the late 80s and early 90s, you know, stuff like that. Okay. I'm going to open my bottle of red wine. Cheers, people. Hell yeah, man. Okay. Grindak asks, been there when it exploded between 89 and 93, so love all these classics albums as well. Hell yeah, man. I was still pretty young in the late 80s, early 90s. I was born in 1981, so... yeah, I mean, I love all that stuff, you know, there's no, you know, all the old Obituary, Death, Morbid Angel. I mean, that's all great stuff, you know, I absolutely love it, and, you know, that's music I've been into for, you know, about over 20 years at this point, all great stuff, and, yeah. I really, in particular, love, like, a lot of the old school Swedish death metal bands. That's really cool stuff. Edge of Sanity, which I already, you know, showed, and, I don't know, I'm drawing a blank now, but a lot of old school Swedish stuff is really fucking good. Grindak says, I am sense, so it affected me as a kid, basically, but never looked back. Yeah, man, I mean, that's the cool thing about music, is that, like, a lot of people have been so, you know, dedicated to it over the years, you know, and, yeah, I mean, if I wasn't into, like, you know, underground music and, you know, more weird stuff, I don't know what, I mean, I don't know how I would be like these days, and mainstream heavy metal and mainstream hard rock, you know, I'm glad I got into this stuff, because, like, you know, I hear mainstream metal or hard rock nowadays, and it's fucking horrible, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I fucking hate, like, bands like Five Finger Death Punch so much. Like, I can't even express with words the hatred I have for that band. And, you know, it's not like I listen to music, but I often find myself in situations where, like, it's just there. It's on the fucking radio, and I'm in a situation where someone is playing their radio, like I'm at work, and they have the fucking radio on, and the goddamn Five Finger fucking Death Punch is on, and I fucking hate that band. And if any of you like that band, fuck you too, because, oh, goddamn, that band's awful. What is wrong with people? Why do they like that? Grindex says, it shaped me in every possible form. Another revolution happened when I was 15. I discovered music of Robert Rich, Steve Roach, and dived into ambient. Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect, you know, that says it really well. I mean, when I got into underground music, it was so, like, it was just this whole new world that was opened up to me, and there was so many avenues to explore. It was just amazing. And, you know, in the late 90s, I mean, I was fortunate enough to have internet in the late 90s, and, you know, I remember going on just searching all these black metal and death metal and dark ambient, all this music, arcwave, all that kind of stuff, and I got so into it, you know, and it's really good memories. And, you know, the internet isn't what it used to be, and if you're younger and, you know, like, you weren't there in the late 90s, you'll never understand, but there was a time when the internet was much more minimal and much more, just special. There was a time when animated GIFs were on every single page. It was fucking awesome. I love those things. I really miss them too. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Arzing of the Brothers of Light. I don't know what that was. I got a Cube, Golgotha, and the Princess album from there. That's cool. I know Golgotha and the Princess album from there for sure. I have heard those projects. They're pretty cool. Black Metal Dark Ambient Tape says, ha ha ha, I love how you hate Five Finger. You damn right I hate Five Finger. Fucking son of a bitch motherfucker band. God, I hate that band. Like, it's just making me angry. Like, I want to smash a bottle now. I was thinking about it. No, probably not, but whatever. I don't know. I hate a lot of music, a lot of mainstream music. I fucking hate Disturbed, and it boggles my mind that like 20 years after that fucking shitty song Stupefy, that band is still around and just like, that doesn't make sense to me. How such a shitty band still be going? Like, I can't comprehend that. Can you guys hear the music in the background okay? I hope so. Because I like loaded up all these songs and it hit shuffle and it's cool stuff. That's Irezumi. I never heard that. Yeah, so any other questions? Otherwise, I don't know. What else can I talk about? You guys like skulls at all? So I really like skulls and collecting bones. Is that weird? I don't know, cause this, like, I saw this, like, when this is a raccoon skull, and so I work landscaping for a living, and when I first the skull was originally attached to an animal that was is still in the decomposing process, and like, I just watched this animal decompose in the sun throughout all the summer last year, and then like September, I cut the head off this dead animal and put it through the whitening process and to make it to have this cool skull. And I have other bones in this room too, and I don't know. Is there something wrong with me if I collect bones? I don't know, but I really like doing it. And I think it's very interesting to collect the bones of dead animals. And I've never killed an animal. I can never do that, but it's very interesting to me to find bones and to bleach them and display them in your home. To me, it's, you know, it's like honoring the animal, really, because otherwise, you know, this animal just would have been skull. I mean, I don't know what killed this raccoon. It just was laying there dead. Maybe it had a disease. Maybe some other animal killed it. I don't know. But it's just interesting. You know, to me, it's like honoring the animal, displaying in your home. You know, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know I've never gotten bones from a graveyard or anything like that. It's just stuff I find like when I'm out hiking and stuff like that. You know, I was just in Arizona and Nevada last week, and we were hiking through the desert, and I was looking for bones. I didn't find any. I was kind of disappointed. I was really hoping I'd find some dead animal that had been decomposing in the hot sun for, you know, months, years, or whatever. But I didn't find anything. Dead animal bones in my suitcase on the way home too, and my fiance probably wouldn't have let me do that. I don't know, maybe she would have. You think there are similarities between Sigillium S and Kurt 93? Well, I only know Sigillium S by name, and I know Kurt 93 pretty well. So I will say I don't know the answer to that question. I'll have to look at another project, I guess. You'll have to link me to it, and I'll have to check out. I feel like it's like a Marshall Industrial project, though, but correct me if I'm wrong. They're both decades-old bands that have changed greatly over the years. Yeah, I don't really know much about that one. I mean, I love like everything Kurt 93 did in like the 80s and the 90s, and until about 2003, that was kind of the cutoff for me with Kurt 93. As soon as Michael Cashmore left the band, that's when I lost interest in Kurt 93. It just seemed like it became all about David the Dead and his extreme eccentricness, and the music just wasn't as good as it used to be. So, yeah. So, what you guys don't have any other more questions, I should probably stop this stream soon. And I don't know. I'm trying to think if I answered all these questions right. I think I did, or as well as possible. If you guys got any questions, let me know. I don't know if there's anything else I can show or anything. Anything you'd like to see. Will you ever stop posting quality music? I don't plan to stop posting quality music. I mean, whether or not all of it's actually quality is a matter of taste, but I think most of the stuff I upload to this channel is pretty good stuff. A lot of stuff I do upload is sent to me by the artists themselves, so it's not always, you know, my choice. But like if someone sends me an album and I'm like, this sucks and it's not dark ambient, I'm probably not going to upload it. But I would say 98% of the time if someone sends me their dark ambient album to upload, I will upload it. So if you guys do make dark ambient music and you want to upload it here, just shoot me an email or Facebook message or anything like that, and it shall be so. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, you know, it's like this channel has become a pretty good hub for dark ambient music and related stuff, and I'm glad you guys are here, you know, checking it out and enjoying it. Tomorrow I'm going to post another collection update video, which I think you guys will dig. Hello, Oscar Archer. Good to see you here, man. If you have a question, feel free to ask it, because I've run out of questions and I'm probably starting to get a little awkward. I'm going to probably get drunk, so I'll probably just keep drinking beer to kill time or something like that. Yeah. So, what you drinking? I am drinking a Leinenkugel Cranberry Shandy. Leinenkugel, in case you don't know, is a brewery in Wisconsin that's been around since like, I don't know, 1850s or something like that. I should know the answer to this because I went on the brewery tour last summer, but it's based out of a city in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, which is like northwestern Wisconsin. It's about a 5-hour drive from here. We were on vacation, so we checked it out. They got some pretty good beer though, and I think they're available all over the United States. I don't know if they're available internationally, but they make some good beer. I like them. So yeah, previously I was drinking this Third Space Mocha Java. I wish the image wasn't reversed. It's kind of weird and you can't read the text, but whatever. So Translucent says, love hanging with you on these lives, man. I love hanging with you too, Translucent, man. It's great to have you here, dude. Love having all you guys here. And, did you guys check out that, it's been probably about a year now, but did you guys check out that Dark Ambient Reactions video I did with my fiance about a year ago? So I've been thinking about doing another one with her and some other friends, because that was a lot of fun, and we got really drunk, and I think we had a good time. There were connection problems for that one too, but yeah. Oscar Archer. I had a bad day today. Something bad happened to me. Tell me about it, Oscar. I'm here for you, man. You sure can, Ruben BMX. Ask a question. Go ahead, man. Let me know. What's on your mind? Hi to everyone from Tijuana, Mexico. Making art and hearing you. Cheers. Fuck yeah, man. Make art. It's the way to be. Yeah, ask away, guys. Anything that's on your mind. Doesn't even have to be dark ambient related. I'm gonna probably cut this off around the 2-hour mark, so well, yeah, you got time. Fortunately, stream is pretty good. It's a little bogged down. It's not as clear as I wish it was, but what can you do, right? Got 12 people watching. That's pretty cool. Oh, we have questions. Great. Oscar Archer. I was at my friend's house for a few days and I accidentally pooed my pants before I could get to the toilet. Honestly, so embarrassing. Yeah, that fucking sucks, man. I'm sorry. I mean, we all, well, that isn't it. I mean, but, you know, it happens, I suppose. Sorry, dude. I do drink whiskey, and don't really have a favorite. I feel like I tend to prefer Irish whiskey, and when I do drink whiskey, it's usually just, oh shit. Well, we might have to end this even sooner than I expected, guys, because it looks like my phone is almost dead. Actually, I don't know. Hold on a second. Maybe I can salvage this. This is unfortunate. Oh my goodness. We'll keep that in there. You're here, guys, because looks like my phone's about to die, and I don't want that to happen because we're having fun here and everyone's having a good time. So I'm going to hook this up to this extension cord over here. Bear with me for a moment, would you please? Shit. So sorry. We have power to keep on doing this live stream. Excellent. Okay. And now I have to turn around and see what you guys write to me. All right. Well, Oscar, I hope you have better luck with your bowel control in the future. Are we back? No. I think we might be back. Well, I think we're back. Alright, well, I am really sorry about this internet issues, guys. I don't know if I just have, like, really weak internet or what. But, God damn everything. I think we're still. God damn it. Are we back? No, we're still not back. I don't know. Yes, we're back. We're back. Okay, you can hear me. See me. Hear me and see me? Give me a thumbs up or something if you can hear and see this. I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer. Hopefully the internet's working again. And everything is good. Alright. Yep. So, I don't know what I was saying before. Refresh my memory. Yeah, I know it's really frustrating about this live stuff, and I wish I could figure out the technical aspects as to why it's sometimes so blurred up and chopped and why it just keeps disconnecting. I think when I do these, I need to like just make sure like nothing else in the house is using the internet. Cause I have a funny feeling my girlfriend's downstairs like watching Netflix or something like that. Could possibly be what's messing it up. I don't know. But yeah. So, all right. I think we're back. Guys, got any questions? Shoot them at me. We'll keep going for a little bit, and not we'll end it anyway because this has been going on for a while now, and I don't want to start boring you or start, you know. Oops. Yep. Oh my God, it's stopping again. Not good. Well, guys, work, and it seems like based off of past live streams, these things start to get weird after about an hour. So thank you guys for joining me. I really do appreciate it, and in the future I'm gonna stop these right around the hour mark. It just seems like I think it just kills the internet after a while or something. I don't know what's going on, but Yeah, it's unfortunate. Oh, man. So, we will... Oh my god, what's going on? Yeah, I apologize, guys, so... Alright, guys, I will see ya. I'm gonna end this baby. Alright, bye-bye, guys. I don't know if you even can see this. Probably not. It's probably all black. I just see a still image is trying to load. Music sounds good. Well, that's good. This is actually another Ecphelion. I'm gonna link that Ecphelion to you real quick before I end this, and then it's gonna be it for sure. There you go. That was a great project. All right. Bye-bye, guys.